going to be a good one.
You ready? You know who it is?
Oh, yeah.
Every once in a while, we should try to fool you, too.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, mystery caller. Good morning. Thanks for calling in.
Good morning.
Mystery caller, are you an active Major League Baseball player?
I am not.
Are you a retired Major League Baseball player?
I am.
Did you play in the National League exclusively?
I did.
I'm trying to look through the pixelation
I
here.
see you. Who you think it is?
It's either somebody who stars in the Blue Man Group in Vegas or it's Ozzie Smith.
How did you know that off of that?
Because I'm good.
You are so good.
Ozzie, man, nice to see you.
That was pretty. I mean, how did you know that?
Because
Somebody told her. Here,
No.
come
No,
on.
he didn't know at all.
We were talking a lot about you yesterday, and Harold was showing off about how he was there when you made the play in San Diego and how he interviewed you on the field at Shea Stadium, and you were top of mind. And I know I know you have the ability to disguise your voice as well.
Yeah, that's my. I'm a thespian too, you know. So anyway, I had a little stint at the outdoor theater here years back, and I actually played the Wizard in the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, for real?
right?
For real?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, you know, we have the second largest outdoor theater in the country here.
That's excellent casting, by the way. You get the
The
wizard.
wizard to play the Wizard of
The only
Oz.
thing was missing was Jack Buck's voice as one of the characters.
Yeah,
The wizard.
A home
yeah.
run by the Wizard.
Hey, the Wizard, yeah.
Hey, Ozzie, so, yeah, we were talking about you quite a bit yesterday on the program, as there's a new program on MLB Network documenting not only the top 10 shortstops right now, but the top 10 shortstops ever, and you're on everybody's favorite list, and the play everybody talks about. The play in San Diego, for which Harold was in the ballpark, or so he claims.
I was.
You know, the Jeff Burroughs liner, you've seen it a million times. At the time, Ozzie, was this anything other than just pure instinct and reaction? And did you get a sense for how great a play it was immediately?
No, I did not. You know, I was just doing what I was put there to do, you know, and that was to follow the ball. And when that ball hit, I mean, there was nothing else that could be done. You just had to react to it. And certainly when it went the other way, my glove hand was gone, you know, so, and I was going the other way too. So only thing I could do was reach back and
That's
hand and eye coordination came into play, I guess. And it all worked. I had more hair, that's for sure.
That was one of the greatest plays of all time because you're diving for a ball that's going to be up the middle. And, you know, we've talked about this enough. It hits a pebble and shot it back the other direction. I mean,
Right.
just crazy.
It's instincts. It's instincts. And that to me just comes from taking ground balls and being reactionary. And actually that's the state that you want to be when you're out there performing. You know, you just want to be in that a state of mind where you don't have to think a lot. And in many ways it makes it an easier play.
Now, talk about performing. All right, I was telling a story yesterday, Ozzie, that you used to do these no-look throws. So when I was with the Orioles, we trained the same complex as the Cardinals. So I come out one day, Ozzie's out there doing these no-look throws. And I'm like, I'm going to do that. And I'm chucking balls all over the place. Eventually, I got it down. But I got a chance later in years to take you down to Shea Stadium when you were there, go down there, bring a camera crew, and you just showed off to the world. So talk to us in Ozzie's words about your no-look throw and why you did it and how long you started that and all the process of it.
Well, you know what? I love the process. I love to practice and stuff. And I played basketball in high school. Eddie Murray and I played a lot of basketball and stuff. And that's really kind of the basketball instincts that you have at knowing where your teammates are. And a lot of times on the field, you know, you come up in these weird positions. So playing on AstroTurf too, guys ran so much faster. You know, you didn't have a whole lot of time to think about it. So I always wanted to know where I was at all times and stuff. So in my warm up and my practice, I always tried to utilize that skill that I was born with, and very instinctual.
Did you ever use it in the game when you did a no-look, or maybe going away?
Not really. In the game, you know, a lot of times, Harold, you know, when the play's going away from you, when you're going to your right, you know, you don't have a whole lot of time to look back. So there may have been times that I had started, but I ended up turning and looking, but I have a pretty good idea of where I am.
So I've never asked you this. What is your best play? Was it the Burrows play, or was there others?
Look at that.
He's just so sweet. He's just so sweet.
You know, there was a lot that, let me say this here. The play with Kirkford, the one we just saw there, was a pretty good one, because there was so much improvisation there. And when you go back and you got a guy coming in, you never know. But the one thing that I used to tell my outfielders is that if we have to dive, I'm going to dive with my arm going left and my body going right. And I think he remembered that play right there, because that could have been very disastrous. But for the most part, I enjoyed the double play, because that's so improvisational. And I think that there was a play where we had Lenny Harris was running on a play, and a ground ball was hit to, I think it was Luis Alicea. And so I get to the bag at the same time the ball gets there and the same time that Lenny gets there. So traditionally you would kind of pivot and kick the bag and throw to first. I just kept going. I just used the bag as a springboard, and was able to throw. And I never allowed not having my feet on the ground stop me from being able to still complete a play. And so on this particular play, I just used that as a springboard and threw him out at first base by a long shot. Actually, I think it was Mike Socia that was running, so that helped too.
You had an extra 15 or so minutes on that play. Hey, Ozzie, I want to ask you about, and I know you've talked about it a lot, and the stories are out there and they're great. The relationship with Whitey and the series of, I guess, encouraging wagers. Do I have this right, that there was the $1 bet for every ground ball versus fly ball? Mm-hmm. Were you the only guy on the roster that Ozzie had this arrangement with, or I'm sorry, that Whitey had this arrangement with, or were there other guys on the team that he encouraged the same way?
No, I think that I was the only guy that he had that with, but, I think that he understood that when I hit a fly ball, I wasn't trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. And it was just a way of him being the good manager that he is. He found a way to incentivize me to keep the ball out of the air and work hard on getting the ball on the ground and utilizing my speed. So it didn't take long that he said, this bet is over with, midway the season. That was, I had enough money to go to dinner 4 or 5 times in a week, with that deal. But it all worked out because it made me concentrate a lot more on keeping the ball out of the air and utilizing my speed, and playing on AstroTurf helped a lot too.
Yeah, that was the thing back then, and you guys had 7 switch hitters, Ozzie, on your roster. Man. How much did you guys talk with each other? And I always found, I was a switch hitter as well, that I was a different hitter on both sides of the plate. Yeah. And
all of us were, and to have that many switch hitters, it makes it a lot easier for the manager as well. He didn't have to make as many changes, and you can keep your main guys in there a lot longer. And I was fortunate enough to play on some teams where some guys were pretty bright baseball guys. They had high baseball IQs, and I think that was always one of Whitey's strengths. He always kept himself surrounded with guys with high baseball IQs, and we put a lot of pressure on people because we had so many switch hitters and guys that understood what their jobs were and were willing to make the sacrifice to get the job done.
So Ozzie, just recently the Cardinals traded for Nolan Arenado.
Yeah.
And you were that guy as well. We watched McGuire get traded there, and there was a lot of hype when McGuire came. When you got traded for Gary Templeton, that was big. So what is Nolan going into? What does he have to expect in St. Louis, and what makes it so great to be a Cardinal?
Well, all he has to do is be Nolan. He's an impact player, as you guys know, a guy who has great numbers, and he plays on both sides of the ball. He's a great defensive player and a great offensive player, and all he has to do is continue to do what he's done to this point, which has just been spectacular. And he's coming to a city where he's going to be appreciated. They're going to look forward to it. I think that the first day, opening day, he will have probably more butterflies in his stomach than he's ever had in his life, because he will get a standing ovation here that will last for a while, because I think that they know that his coming here gives them a much better chance to win. He has always, he gives you that consistency. You know what you're going to get every day with a player like this here, and he's certainly one of those guys that has the potential to be a Hall of Famer if he stays healthy.
Ozzie, we can't thank you enough for the time today.
The
Pleasure
Wizard.
having you on the show, man. Great to see you. Great to talk to you. And don't be a stranger with us here. We love having you on.
Okay, guys. Thank you, guys. You guys have
Hall
a
of
great
Famer
day.
Ozzie
Be safe
Smith
out there.
joining us on the Thursday program. That was awesome. It's